So you know what happened? Suddenly I got some free time and I realized that I have no more free time in the near future, not next week, not after that. So basically I am going to miss the whole Dune hype, the whole movie. Because already new movies coming, so after like 2-3 weeks I don't think they gonna show in any single cinema in this city. So, and today it was a gift when I realized that today I have time, so actually I can go and watch the movie. And after that I was thinking, should I go or should I just, you know, enjoy myself here, read a book, talk to someone, on Skype from the friends and things like that. And then I realized no, because it's now or never. For last time I had free time, I just went to the city and I just walked, and somehow I ended up in the Dune premiere or Leicester Square in the city in middle of London. And obviously I didn't see anything because they have these cordons, they cordon down the whole area because of what. So we didn't really see anything, but there was like hundreds and hundreds of people. You couldn't you couldn't move, so I was just waiting there in the rain. And the actors came, and one of the actors, I think it was probably the main one, tried to dismantle the cordon and try to come and see us. But after that, the security guys pursued him very very quickly not to do that. So there was like a couple of guys holding the barrier, so he couldn't get through. But all the girls who were close to the barrier, they were like screaming their head off. So I got a little bit of hype of this one. Definitely. And it is very important that the books, I remember that one of my best friend loved the series, and there was a house party and we spent quite a significant time showing me the whole Dune series, the books, and he explained the stories to me and everything. And it still brings back memories when someone says Dune. You have a house party, you have friends over, you have thousand things to talk about, and you talk about your books. This is really crazy. I love that. So now the movie is here, and I know if I don't do it today, I am never gonna do it, because I never watch definitely I never watch a movie on my laptop or on my mobile phone, because it just doesn't work for me at all. Because you really need to pay attention, you need to be emotionally invested in it, and it just doesn't happen at all. I lose interest very quickly because I have thousand things to do, because I'm at home, or if I watch it on a mobile phone, I'm usually on the public transport, so I need to focus on when the next stop I need to get off. So it just doesn't work. But I can watch serials endlessly, but not movies. I think since I've been paying for streaming services, I never really watched a movie at all, only serials. So if I don't do it today, I'm never gonna do this. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, just got home, and it's very interesting because it was very long. I think it was like 3 hours together with the commercials and the trailers and everything. I think it was about 3 hours from the moment I sat down in the room 3 minutes before the start, and I stood up and walked out. But of course I was waiting for end of the credit scene, which I don't believe there was one. And it was a full house. This was the first week of Dune. This is how you say it, Dune. For me it's Dune anyway. And it was amazing. It was much better for me than James Bond. It really delivered. And what I realized that it's absolutely amazing to go to the cinema to watch a movie when you don't know anything about the source material, you don't know anything about the story, because then every single thing that happens, every single time, it's a surprise for you. While when you watch a movie but you know everything about, then it's not really, it will be so exciting. But here I literally had no idea what's gonna happen in the next minute, and I was truly surprised about the whole ideology that went through the whole story, because it's basically about the family, it's basically about responsibilities, about social standing, about the future, how you behave in certain situations. And even when it starts and they have a breakfast, and when they talk about, they tell to Paul, the main character, to get dressed, and he's like, military or and it's like a completely different thing that you usually see in the movies nowadays. But I don't really want to talk about the story to you. What was intriguing for me is how actually the movie looks like, because what happened is, all these lockdown, all these self-isolations and stuff, I kinda got reconnected with 60s, 70s or something like that, 60s, 70s science fiction movies. So movies that were made thousands of years ago, when they thought that, I don't know, after 50 years we're gonna dress like that, and we're gonna have flying cars, and we're gonna travel back to time and things like that. And right now I was watching exactly the same art of things, the spaceship and the transport vehicles and everything, like how I felt a need to indulge in movies like that from the 50s, 60s, 70s and things like that. And it was pretty cool. Even without a story, that movie would be the best of this year. Definitely would be the best. And not long time ago, I did a course, not a long course, maybe 3-4 months course on, it was an online one, on Mesopotamia, because I really like this topic. And the whole set, the scenes was really like Mesopotamia, and I absolutely loved it. The trailer, when it comes to the trailer, I would, if I need to highlight something, one single sentence I should quote from the movie, it would be definitely the one when he says, "We set up to fail." I think that represents the whole movie and what is fantastic in this movie. And they are very, very brave to come up with these political things, but I think science fiction was always about politics, isn't it? I paid £24. That was the ticket and a Coke, a sugary one, Coke, and a medium popcorn, salty one. And I think every single room has the same price. I think I was in one of the small rooms or medium rooms, and obviously I like to sit in the first or the second row as close to the screen as possible. So we sat there, and there were people who, I don't know, they maybe didn't think about it, or maybe they haven't been to the cinema. Sometimes it happens when they do a remake for a classic, that it kind of attract people who usually don't go to cinemas, and they get a seat, allocated seat, and they don't like it, so they kind of shuffle around, and after that people arrive who's supposed to have their seat, and then there's some sort of argument going on. So basically the mood was set for a political science fiction long before we started to watch the movie. And the space, actually it was very interesting. It was a completely new cinema. I never been there, and I didn't think that the movie itself will take so long. So when I went home, I realized that the area, it's not my area, I never really been there before, and I realized that it's like kind of, it reminded me of New York, walking from the cinema to the place where I get my ride. Wow, you think the street is completely empty. It's like, it really felt like New York, 2 o'clock in the morning, when you have a night out and you have some drinks and you need to go home for some reason alone. It's like the street looks empty, but when you walk on the street 2 o'clock in the morning, you realize that there are people here and there, between the cars, under the tree, in the doors and stuff, in the shadows, and bit scary stuff. Anyway, about the movies, I wanted to say how amazing job they did with the dress, and how the dress was really telling the story without even the actors saying their lines. And you know, all these accommodations they've been, I looked around and I said, oh my god, I would definitely live in a place like that. Very important thing, when you have your king, when you have your prince, and when you have the other most important people, you don't put them in a helicopter together in a strange land you never been to, and you don't know anything about it, and you rely on the information from people you don't trust. You don't put them in a helicopter. You don't put them in the same place. Never. Not even in a science fiction. Never. Because they could have got them then and there. So you have these worms that can grow up to 400 meters, which is quite unimaginable size. It's like dinosaurs or something like that. So they need to learn to walk, like they need to switch the rhythm of their walk. So basically they need to learn 4 or 5 different style of walking. You cannot walk like in a natural way, how you walk on the street when you go for shopping. No, because when you have a monotone rhythm, the do 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 do, then it would definitely attract the worm. These worms is like dinosaurs. It's like 400 meters long. So they would come, definitely would come, because they would attract to the noise. And I love that scene when a woman deliberately does this to call the worm to fight her enemies. That was such a such an idea. Oh my god. When I saw it, I said, this is really good. This is really good. Because it's a provocation. You call the monster that no one can kill because it's such a huge beast. You call the monster to destroy your enemies, and basically you just sit down, make yourself comfortable, take popcorn, salty popcorn and sugary coke. You sit down and you watch how the monster you just called destroy your enemies. And basically free of charge. And that is such a good scene. The whole movie is, I think it's too fast. I don't know, I complained about it that it's like 3 hours long, but it's very quick. You know, all the scenes are like edited to, you know, they really skim the fat of them. So that's why every scene is so short, and you go to the next one, the next one, the next one, next one, next one. And I think it could be easily 6 hours long, and it would be still amazing.